Hello all, Tot here with a new video, and I've talked about AI a lot recently, mostly the news, developments, and more philosophical or my own opinion on the idea, which are all opinions, okay? I just report it and have my thoughts on them. Again, I'm not an expert. I've never claimed to be, but as an author, an artist, I kind of see myself as a creative casualty if I don't voice it. I want to define this entity or this thing, and that way I can better make use of it or understand it. When you hunt something or it hunts you, you have to understand it better, and more knowledge the better, I say. And the one thing I've come to, the one conclusion personally is what would be the most terrifying advancement of AI? I think I've got my answer. And again, I'm probably not the first person to propose this, but here it is. You see, we humans have a thing called the subconscious. Lots of back in, behind the scenes kind of thinking and stuff. It's very complex. I've studied it for a long time. I can't go in here. I've taken a number of psychology classes in college, and I also have an interest in on my own. I've always been fascinated by it. And the one thing that really stood out to me was mirror neurons. Now, what are mirror neurons? Well, they're neurons that mirror. They add in mimicry and copying. And what does that mean? What is the implication of that connection of copy? Well, they help with learning skills, training, physical and mental, fine motor skills, and also the big one is empathy, where I have a theory that a lot of people's motor neurons are burned out due to using them too much, and it's led to emotional numbness that is, quite frankly, ripping our society apart at the seams and unraveling it all. But that's a topic for another day. But anyway, what was my main thing? What if AI got mirror neurons or something approximated? Well, then you wouldn't have to. I possibly wouldn't have to program as much. You wouldn't have to prompt it. You see, their weakness is the prompt or what you feed them, what we know versus what we don't know. Okay, our critical thinking, what we desire, ask it a question, which I think is a dying art, which is sad to say. And to move on to, there was an experiment which is a little scary, not too bad. I can tell you much more horrifying things, but I won't. Maybe around Halloween, I'll tell you some. And it dealt with mirror neurons. Now, it involves a monkey or ape called the Remus monkey. Now, what makes the Remus monkey so special? Well, you see, it's a stage 5 clinger. It will hold on to its mother for a long time. Now, all apes do this, every one of them. Chimpanzees, orangutans, gorillas, they'll hold on to their mothers. I believe also fathers. I don't know how common that is. But the Remus monkey, if you were to adopt one or something, you'd have to let hold on to you. They crave physical touch above all. They couldn't literally be touch starved or they'd starve to the end, which is very sad. And I think that's happened sometimes. But anyway, these scientists were wondering if they could measure that or replicate it. So they made an experiment. They took a baby Remus monkey and two variables. One was its mother, and the other was a doll that was made of felt or some other nice material. And they hooked sensors and nodes to its brain to measure the activity, the ECG, the electric activity. And when they did it to the mother, it lit up in all the areas they think it would. But then they moved on to the doll. And guess what? Nearly same exact map of the neural patterns and all that. It's very scary how close it was. Like, I swear to you, if you give a normal scientist those two pictures together without hardly any other right context, they couldn't tell the difference. It was insidiously, irreplaceably the same. Just barely any difference. And what if we did that? What if AI could do that, where it matched it so well that all these functions, all these senses, all these mechanisms of the mind that the monkey alone could not think about could be put on autopilot. What then? What happens then? I ask you, please share in the comments below if you'd like to know or would like to ask. I'm curious. And I don't want to scare anybody, but I would like to hear some ideas, if you would. I'm open to conversation and debate all the time. Like, share, and subscribe. Have a good day.